My girlfriend spent 8 months pretending to be someone's soulmate for entertainment, so I spent her birthday pretending to be someone who cared. Sarah had a way of making you feel like you'd won the lottery just by being with her. 4 months in, and I was completely hooked. This beautiful psychology major who could make a trip to the grocery store feel like the best date ever. She'd laugh at all my stupid jokes, surprise me with my favorite coffee, and make every day feel like an adventure worth having. But I should have realized anyone who seemed that perfect was just better at hiding the rot than the rest of us. The truth came out at dinner with her college friends. Some upscale place downtown where they were already 3 drinks deep, swapping war stories from sophomore year. Then her friend with the pixie cut started giggling. Oh my god, remember the Emma thing? Sarah's whole face changed. She lit up like someone had just mentioned her favorite movie. Holy crap, I haven't thought about that in forever. She leaned forward, and suddenly I was looking at a stranger. So there was this girl Emma in our dorm, super quiet, overweight, basically lived in her room playing World of Warcraft or whatever. At this point, the whole table was already laughing, and I felt my smile freeze on my face. Sarah was getting into it now, hands moving like she was telling the funniest story in the world. I was so bored that semester, and Emma was just there. So I made this fake profile, Jake Morrison, and found photos of some goth gamer dude with tattoos, which was exactly her type. She explained how she'd spent 8 months building this fake relationship, messaging Emma every single day as Jake, morning texts to make her smile, late night conversations when her anxiety kept her awake, constant reassurance that she was beautiful and worthy of love. Emma had believed every word, pouring her heart out in return with poetry about her dead mother and confessions about being 20 years old and never even holding hands with a guy. The best part, Sarah said, wiping tears from her eyes, was when Jake convinced her to buy lingerie. This girl who wore the same hoodie every day actually went to Victoria's Secret, and she sent photos. The table exploded with laughter. Sarah waited for them to quiet down just enough to deliver her punchline. Then I set up the meeting, told her to get a hotel room at the Marriott downtown, said Jake wanted their first time to be special. I had to know what happened next, even though my stomach was already turning. Sarah shrugged like it was nothing. She waited there for like 7 hours, kept texting Jake that she was scared he'd gotten in an accident. I finally told her the truth around midnight. One of her friends, the redhead, jumped in eagerly. She tried to unalive herself 2 days later. Pills. The RA found her during room checks. The table went quiet for exactly 2 seconds. Then Sarah said she should thank me. I gave her more attention than any real guy would have. That's when I realized I didn't win the lottery. I was dating a monster. I could have walked out that night and never looked back, but that felt too clean for someone who'd tortured a girl for entertainment. Sarah loved her perfect romantic moments. Great. Her 23rd birthday was in 3 weeks, and she'd been dropping hints about wanting something magical and kept showing me Instagram posts of elaborate surprises. Perfect. The morning of her birthday, I woke her with breakfast in bed and told her I'd planned an all-day treasure hunt leading to a special dinner. She practically squealed. I knew you'd do something amazing. She'd already booked a professional makeup and hair appointment and bought a new dress specifically for her big day. The first clue sent her to a fancy hotel downtown where I'd supposedly left a gift with the concierge. She spent over an hour there, texting me increasingly frantic messages. Next, a jewelry store across town where she had to ask for the special package. More confused texts. They don't know what I'm talking about. Is this right? By the third stop, a packed amusement park in 90-degree heat, she was falling apart. I can't find whatever I'm looking for. My makeup is ruined. My feet are bleeding. Please just tell me where to meet you. That's when I texted back. I'm so sorry, baby. I made this way too complicated. I needed to keep you busy all day to set up your real surprise. Just come to Le Bernardin at 8 p.m. and tell the hostess, birthday princess. Can't wait to see you. She completely bought it. Her texts went from angry to excited in seconds. OMG, I knew something was up. See you soon. At 8:15, the call started. First confused. They don't know what I'm talking about. Then frantic. Are you sure it's Le Bernardin? The hostess is looking at me like I'm crazy. By 8:30, she was sobbing. Where are you? Everyone's staring. It's my birthday. That's when I sent the final text. Now you know how Emma felt waiting for someone who was never coming. Happy birthday. We're done. She showed up at my apartment at midnight hysterical. Makeup destroyed, hair flat, that expensive white dress wrinkled and stained. You humiliated me! She screamed through the door. I didn't even answer. Just let her scream until the neighbors called the police. Word about Emma spread through campus like wildfire. I ran into Sarah's old roommate months later, who told me Sarah was in therapy now, not to work on herself, but because she genuinely couldn't understand why her entire world had abandoned her. She apparently spent every session insisting she was the victim of a conspiracy, that I'd brainwashed everyone against her, and even suggested Emma had planned the whole thing to ruin her life. The psychology major who analyzed everyone else's problems still can't diagnose her own.